Hi, my name is Gary Lingefelter, and today I'm going to talk about the elected officials in the state of California and the districts within it. Okay, so to start, I'm going to go over some of the things we're going to talk about in this PowerPoint presentation. We're going to start with the federal senators within the state of California. Then we're going to move on to the members of Congress, um, specifically the member of Congress within my district. I'm going to show a map of the congressional district that I live in. Then I'm going to talk about the state senator that represents my district and go over again the map of that senator's district area. Then I'm going to move on to the state assembly member who represents my area and go over their district. I'm then going to talk about gerrymandering, where it comes from, and whether or not that's applicable in my case and in my city. Okay, so I'm going to start by talking about the federal senators that we have in the state of California. There are 2 senators from each state, and the senators represent an entire state, while representatives only represent a portion of it. I'm also going to talk about districts and how those are made up. Districts are required to be equal or almost equal in population, and in most states, populations are not evenly distributed across entire regions. This principle is based upon the one person, one vote policy, which means that each person's vote counts equally no matter where they live. This rule is applied to representatives throughout the layout of districts, but the rule of one person, one vote doesn't apply for senators because there are always 2 senators for each state. So, for example, in 2014, 2 Delaware senators represented 897,000 people, while the same number of senators represented approximately 38 million Californians. So, that being said, senators don't represent equally across the board, but representatives do on the other hand. So, our senators in this state are Dianne Feinstein, and she's served since 1992, and also Kamala Harris, who has served since 2017, this year. Okay, so who is my congressman from my area? Well, Ken Calvert is a Republican who's worked in the 42nd Congressional District, which is where I'm located, since 2013. Before that, he served as a representative of the 44th Congressional District from 2003 to 2012. And then also before that, he served under the 43rd Congressional District from 1993 to 2000. He's lived in Riverside County and been a small business owner for over 17 years, and he works in the restaurant and real estate industries as well. So this is the 42nd Congressional District. I live in the city of Menifee, and as you can see, the lines are actually pretty straightforward. It's not convoluted and kind of crazy like some of the other stuff that you see out there, which I'll show here in a little bit when I start talking about gerrymandering. Districts must be drawn in a way that they represent roughly equal populations, like I said earlier. They're also drawn in an effort to capture votes of specific minority groups and population characteristics. This is performed so that one party has a greater chance of electing a member from a particular district, meaning that basically Republicans or Democrats would like to continue getting nominees from their party elected. Many districts might look silly, but this one doesn't. But the effort is made to divide equally based upon population size. Maps are drawn by state legislators, and if one party has a majority of the state legislatures, they may draw the map to ensure that they continue winning elections. And this takes place on both sides of the coin. So anyway, like I said, I live in the city of Menifee, and this is a layout of what it looks like, and Ken Calvert is a Republican who serves as my congressman here. So now who is my state senator? So there is definitely a difference between state senators and federal senators. Federal senators, as I stated earlier, there's only 2 from each state, while state senators, there's actually different districts that are set up for state senators. So Mike Morrell serves under the 23rd Senate District, which is the district that represents the city of Menifee. He's been here since 2012, and he began his career in the title industry. He broke two of the company's records, then decided to just finally start his own business. He owns Provident Home Loans and Provident Real Estate in Upland. So here's a map of the 23rd Senate District, and again, not convoluted, not crazy looking. Doesn't look like they're trying to capture any specific population, probably because California is mostly Democrat anyway. All right, so my state assembly member is Melissa A. Melendez. She works under the 67th Assembly District, and she's been there since 2012. That's a typo there. I'll fix that. Okay, so her story is actually particularly interesting. She enlisted in the Navy after she graduated from high school, and she learned to speak Russian fluently. Melissa also flew reconnaissance missions overseas and gathered intel. She served 10 years in the Navy and then earned her bachelor's degree and master's degree, and now she also owns her own business. So she's quite a success story. Today she lives in Lake Elsinore with her husband, and she's actually got 5 children too. This is a map of her district, the 67th Assembly District. Again, very easy to read. Doesn't look like they're trying to capture any specific people, or mostly just based on population here, it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about gerrymandering, and like I said earlier, a lot of times people will try to draw the maps so that they can capture specific votes, and that's kind of what gerrymandering actually is. It occurs when a district's drawing the maps, but it doesn't accurately reflect the party makeup of the population. So you can actually see on the right-hand side here, it says how to steal an election. Well, so if your state, let's say that the state of California was made up of 60% blue and 40% red, if you were the person drawing the maps, it would actually not be too hard to skew the numbers and make it appear different. So this middle box here, it shows that there's 5 districts, but in every circumstance, blue looks like it wins. And so no matter what, Democrats or blue is going to win that because the way that the map is drawn. Again, if they, on the right side, they drew the map kind of crazy looking, and they did that so that they could skew the numbers again. So whoever holds the power to draw these maps also holds a lot of power in the election process. On the left side of the screen, bottom left, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is a map that attempts to capture mostly all of the Democratic voters out there, and you can see on the outside of that it's probably more of a rural population that's all red there, and that's probably where all the Republicans are. So my guess here is that the center, that blue area, is the most populated area, and it's just crowded with Democrats. That being said, I don't think that my area is guilty of gerrymandering because, as I showed earlier, the maps are pretty straightforward. It looks like they're just trying to capture an equal population size. And in conclusion, districts are created based upon population. At least they're supposed to be. They're not designed to be used as a way to win elections, although they are used for that. And we've discussed the concept of gerrymandering. One person should have one vote. It should count equally no matter where you're at, and it shouldn't be skewed based upon where you live. And then lastly, we elect the officials to convey the needs of us. And it's not to promote their own personal agendas. It's important that we continue electing officials to represent our beliefs and our needs, and that's the whole process. That's what it's designed for, and it seems to be working pretty well for us. That's it, and thank you very much. Everybody else have a good day.